Yeah, my name is Per Modig. I work partly as a farmer and partly as advisor at Hushållningssällskapet in Skåne. So at Hushållningssällskapet I work as advisor in organic production to other farmers. And here at Fagraslätt, that's my farm, I work with my brother and we are growing organic and all types of crops, and I have legumes like beans, fagioli beans, lentils, peas, and also quinoa, and we try different types of crops, chickpeas and chia, and yeah, you name it.
We can't hear you.
So please share your screen, Per, and
Yes.
unmute yourself.
I'll try to. Now I hope you can see my screen. Is it possible?
Yeah.
And can you hear me?
Yes.
Nice. Yes, as you saw in the movie, my name is Per Modig. I work both as advisor at Hushållningssällskapet and on my farm together with my brother Niklas Svensson. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our farm and what we're doing and challenges and what we have done to it. I started in 2009. I tried with 5 different types of beans on half a hectare, only in a real small scale. And it was because I read about a trial with those beans, and I got in contact with the person who had this trial, and I received some seed, and I used it to sow in the next year. And yeah, many people said it was impossible to grow these kinds of beans. It was only possible to grow brown beans in Sweden, I was told. But I felt I had to try, and after that I continued with beans, and then I have started with different types of pulses. I have tried many of them through the years. So now we have, together with my brother, we have 160 hectares organic cultivation, and in this land we have as much pulses as we can. So this year we have somewhere between 20 or 25 hectares of pulses, where 4 types of beans: black, white, kidney, and colored one. We have different types of peas: gray peas, yellow peas, some new types of peas. We have lentils. You may not call them pui lentils, but it's the same type of lentils. We also had some soybeans. The birds took them, but we sowed some soybeans at least. We have tried with chickpeas. We have a cultivation of quinoa, and we also have some different other seeds. So this has become the main thing I do. I try different types of pulses and other seeds, and we dry and sort it and sell it. From a small scale experiment in 2009, we now have this as the main thing we do at Fagraslätt. Starting growing beans in 2009, we recognized it was possible to grow those beans. despite many people said it wasn't possible. The cultivation was no problem, but in this small scale we had many challenges, really. The first and quite big is the harvest. It's the beans, they mature late in the season, and it's sometimes hard to find good harvesting weather. And you also, it would be best to have a specialized harvesting machine, but we only have a usual combine harvester. So we use that machine, and it's possible, but it's not the best thing. Then we had some challenges with drying these small quantities of each bean. And then after that, we had the biggest challenge that I'm going to talk a little bit more about, the sorting and the cleaning after the harvest and the drying. Because it's possible to find someone who can sort bigger amounts of seeds, but to sort small amounts, it's not easy to find. After that, we have, of course, challenges with packing when we hadn't done it before, so we had to find ways to do it in a good way and find ways to sell in good ways. So many challenges in this small scale. It really was. It's different. Many companies are willing to buy. If you have 100 tons of kidney beans, yes, and you can supply 100 tons each year, the next 5 years, then it's possible to sell. But to sell small scale, then you don't know how much it is and how soon you can make it. That's a challenge. So this that's a border for new crops, that you start in a small scale and you don't have 100 tons first year. But sorting and cleaning was a big challenge that I'm going to talk a little bit more about. So it's difficult, as I said, it's difficult to clean small batches of pulses and other crops, like 50 to 5,000 kilograms. If you have more than that, you can find a bigger company that can clean your seed. But if you only have a small amount, it's difficult. So since 2009, we have had many tests at Fagraslätt, different ways to clean, more or less work by hand of this when we have used different types of machines. So we have tried different machines and equipments of different origins. We have built some of our own and found in different places. But since some years ago, we have good machines. We bought new machines. As you can see in the picture, it's laboratory machines that we have modified slightly for higher volumes. So now we have good machines that can clean these small-scale crops that we grow. So the benefits of this equipment that we have, we can sort, we can clean these small batches, like from 50 to 5,000 kilograms. That we can do I think better than many others. We easily can change sort. We can change from beans to peas or lentils easily, and it's easy to clean the machines, and we don't lose so much as you do in bigger equipment. And of course, we are more expensive per kilogram than bigger places are. but I think we can do things that others can't, I think. And I was asked to talk a little about that, but what we should have done more, what we need and what we have missed in this what we have done. And I think the main thing that you always miss is space. We have built some new houses with store and places to pack and to load that what we have cleaned, and we also have made some old house possible to use these sorting machines in. But yeah, you need more space. We should have built bigger houses for with place for drying, with before the sorting. We should have had more place for store, both before cleaning and after cleaning, and we should have had room for bigger equipment. Now we see we could have had this equipment is it's in a small scale. It's good when you have a smaller amount, but if you have some amounts that are more than like 5 tons, 10 tons of each, then we should have had at least one machine that has a bigger capacity. And right now we have no place for it. So more space in the buildings is the main thing that I think of that we miss in this investigation. I think that that was what I had prepared for talking about. I'm open for questions.
Thank you, Per. Can you stop sharing, please?
Yes.
So prepare for the next speaker. Okay, so any questions for Per?
Susanna här.
Susanna, yes.
I would like to ask you about your certification. You mentioned organic certification. And what kind of certification do you have? CAV certification or EU certification? And why do you have that kind of certification?
Yeah, we have a CAV certification. Yeah, and then you have both EU and
Yes.
CAV, of course. And yeah, it's the main certification in Sweden for organic production. I think it's maybe not necessary, but almost. If you want to sell to most people know CAV, and most people don't know the EU. So yeah, and you don't choose for one crop. You choose for the whole farm, and it's necessary to have CAV if you want to sell other crops to other buyers.
Thank you for your answer.
Okay, any more questions?
Åsa.
Åsa, yes.
Hi, so yes, Per, I was thinking in most other agriculture, it's very cereal intensive, but I guess your agriculture is legume intensive, so to speak. So how is that affecting with diseases and stuff? If I understand correctly, you don't have much cereals. So what kind of crop rotation do you have?
Yeah, as I said, we have like 160 hectares that we use, and we have a crop rotation in that land. So 20-25 hectares with pulses, it's maximum. So we have every 6th or every 7th year we have pulses. So the rest of the land, yeah, there we have some cereals. We have quinoa, of course, as I mentioned, potatoes, carrots, onions, many different crops. So well, every 6th or 7th year we have pulses in the crop rotation.
Any more questions for Per? Have you tried something that absolutely did not work? Any crop or cultivar that?
Oh yes, many. Soybean is a real challenge because of the birds. In fact, pigs we have a problem with, but you can close them out with fence. But birds are hard to close out, especially when you grow in small plots. So you should have bigger fields, then it would be a less problem. But it's a big problem with birds in soybeans. And of course, I have yet we have tried chickpeas some years, 2 years now, and I'm not convinced that it's possible to grow in Sweden. We will see. And sorghum I tried some years ago. It was no hit for me. It maybe can be in other places, but yeah. And of course, cultivars that are suitable for Italy or China may not be well suited for Sweden. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the next step now? Will you build bigger houses, or what will you do?
Maybe we need bigger stores and places for some bigger machines, maybe. But the main challenge is to be better in everything we do.
Thank you. Any more questions for Per? I cannot see any hands here.
Hello.
Yeah,
I have one question. Hello, Per. I had to walk away for a minute, so I don't know if anyone's asked this, but how do your neighboring farmers see your experiments today? Have they also adopted legumes?
I would say no. If we talk about my neighboring farmers, no. I don't know really, but I think they see me as quite special and something that they don't do. But you shouldn't ask that question to them, maybe. I have affected some of my organic farm friends or customers at my work as advisor. So lentils and some different types of peas, and so it's cultivated around in Skåne, but not my neighbors so much.
All right, thank you. I was fishing for if anyone's watched it in person and how that influences adoption.
Yeah, of course. I have many visitors, and so some people I think adopt some of it. Of course.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Per.